we can use the past to shape the future. It's our future, literally reimagined, if I'm borrowing from the University of Johannesburg. And the goodness is that you then get surrounded by people who are also going to the same destination, who will carry you at a stage when you're not able to even see the vision.
Viewers, listeners, in offices, schools, and in traffic, welcome to the last episode of Season 2 of Not Wasting a Single Story. Yep, you're stuck with me, Dr. Gamuchirai Mutezo, and I have the most amazing job. I get to sit on this green couch, listen to people's works, their ideas, what inspires them, all in the name of shifting mindsets for this beloved continent of ours. As you can see today, I am stylishly dressed because we are going to a special country so that we can hear what is cooking, particularly in Cameroon, and we'll probably look at the greater West African, Central Africa region so that our audience in those regions can equally appreciate the work that's being done and draw a whole lot of inspiration. So with me today is a gentleman who was a colleague and is becoming a friend. And I love having friends on the couch because when they're on the couch, then they'll start talking too much and inspire too much, which is exactly what this podcast is all about. Prof. Ayuk, welcome to the Green Couch.
Thank you so much. It's not just a pleasure, but also a sort of inspiration to be able to get on board such motivations that you try to use to impact the younger generations. And I will also tell you that it's timely because of the so-called innovations coming today. So people get to forget a lot of who they really are.
Oh.
So I'm really pleased to be part of this, and I hope I will be able to do the best I can.
Don't worry, I'll poke it out of you.
Thank you.
Now, thank you for the warm words, and we're certainly looking forward to this conversation covering the continent and someone sending you an email one day to say, you mentioned 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Okay.
And this is the reason why I am where I am today. Okay. Now, what we usually do on the Green Couch is to start off with a casual question so that we get to know the person behind the work. And that casual question is, who are you? Why do you exist? And what do you do for fun?
Thank you. As you rightly said, I'm a professor with the University of Buea, Cameroon, one of the state-owned universities. And I am actually into urban development and environmental management. And in that respect, we are into a lot of things, taken from the urban perspective, the troubles of the urban areas, and also looking at how to sustain the environment. So for over 10 years, professionalism, from an assistant lecturer to a lecturer to now a professor. And I have also been involved with community activities for at least 20 years today. And I am very proud to say in one of my early days, we started ocean cleaning to be able to get youths involved in issues related to the urban coastal environments. And in 2022, we were able to force the government to get into having a coastal day for beach cleaning. And I was actively involved in bringing out youths to take the challenge to be able to make some means out of waste collection. And that was done in 2 cities, Limbe and Kribi, which are the coastal towns of Cameroon, specifically known for tourism purposes. So I was part of that, and I'm being proud that till today, it is being recognized as something that has helped to be able to mobilize youths, get them. And I will say that the platform now today has over 1,300 youths who actively take part on those particular days when it comes to beach cleaning activities. So that is the little of what I have been able to do.
What do you do for fun? Then we'll come back to this little.
I I am a sports lover,
Mm-hmm.
and I always get into soccer, and also there is volleyball. But the other part of reading, people always say that is tied to my work. So sometimes I don't put reading as part of a hobby. But I love reading novels. I love watching movies
Yeah.
during free times, and I am already getting addicted to one of the games I play when I want to reflect, the Candy Crush.
Trust me, we once had a guest here. I should have asked her to mention that she loves Candy Crush as well. We will
Yeah,
not mention names. Okay, Candy Crush. Which level are you on right now?
I think it will surprise you, but somewhere around 13,000.
13,000.
Yes.
There should be like an Olympics game just for Candy Crushes.
I use it to reflect a lot.
Oh, really? The urban development, climate change.
I can be playing the game, but trust me, I'm not there.
No.
I'm somewhere.
Okay. And issues of urban development will be right there while you're doing your thing.
It gives me a lot of reason to think, and it gives me an open mind to be able to give a good reflection of what I'm thinking, because that is when I sometimes get my quiet moments.
Yeah.
I most often pull out of the people around me while trying to get an attention to the game and trying to give myself a quiet moment.
Yes.
So sometimes music around me, people talking around me may have no influence of what I'm doing at that moment.
It gets you into a zone.
Absolutely.
Good to note. So after this, we're going to dance with some dombolo and get you all up and inspired.
Yeah.
Tell me, when you were young, and this could be below the age of 10, this could be in your teenage years, were you aware of this concept of urban development and all those related to it?
I wish to say that as a young child, I grew within an environment where there were a lot of conflicts in terms of land boundaries. This is where my plot is supposed to end. This is where you are only supposed to begin. So sometimes the people of lands have to always come to remark boundaries, put new pillars, make us to understand that no, when this one is put, this is the one from the government, nobody has a right to touch. When this is just put from whoever, like they will use some flowers to produce boundaries, they tell you that it can always be tempered with. And this gives us reasons why we started looking at, why should we always argue? Why should we always fight? Why don't we just get the right things to be done? And from this perspective, little interest started coming.
Yes.
But I will not tell you that it has been so smooth, because my thoughts by then and the reflection from peer pressure and also some good friends that I walked the academic ladder with, we always have where we're looking at.
Yes.
And I grew in the city of Limbe, where the refining industry they call Sonora is actually based. And this young man was looking at, what can I do to get there? Because that is one of the state-owned corporations that when you hear somebody working there, you get envy of the person because of the income earned, amongst others. This were people who were looked upon as the elite class.
Yes.
So I always look at myself, what do I do to get there?
Yeah.
And I started deviating to read geology. And in my high school days, I did biology, chemistry, and geology. And as things will work out, getting to the university, it wasn't geology again. It became geography and environmental science.
Yes.
And in merging these two with my ideas of biology, chemistry, it got me now to the field of environmental management.
Yes.
Where I'm able to look at the environment from different perspectives. And that is why during my PhD days, I was able to do analysis of water, potable water for drinking in urban environments, among some other things.
Okay.
looking at housing, looking at waste management, waste transportation, waste sorting, amongst all the other aspects that you could think of.
Okay. So for you, it was a matter of what you saw around you. That's where you drew.
I got
questions.
inspired by a lot of things around
Yeah.
my environment.
Yes. And what made it also easy for you to move from one discipline to another?
It was more about the willingness to be able to solve most of the problems I see.
Yeah.
I therefore decided to get more into something which is like, how can I live comfortably within this environment?
Yeah.
It's not just about me, but about those you live with.
Yes. Okay. I really like this point you're mentioning, because one could have studied X, but they're not feeling it anymore. And they don't always know that you can explore Y, A, B, C. So I'm trusting that the person watching or listening to this can draw sense of comfort that you don't have to be stuck in one space, and you can also intentionally choose how to bring it all together into a space that you enjoy contributing towards. Yeah. All right. And then we fast forward, you did urban development and environmental management. So do you focus only within Cameroon, or you've done some work beyond?
I have been able to move around, and I will say that some of the inspiration is mostly from Germany, with in-depth studies on environmental law and practice. And that was a major component into my research.
Yeah.
Where I was able to do comparative studies between cities like Hamburg and Douala. Because if you look at Hamburg, it is of similar physical positioning like Douala.
Yeah.
And in Douala, we were able to compare the environmental management laws. For example, Douala is beside the ocean. It has similar population like Hamburg. It has similar physical attributes. So why is one like this? The other is on the other side.
I'm curious. What
And we came to understand that when it comes to the environmental management laws, they are basically the same. Just a little here and there that you have some differences. But generally speaking, they all conform to international laws, and they all got inspired from international laws.
Yeah.
And the problem now is the laxity with respect to who we have as leaders, willing to mainly put these things into perspective and implementation.
The implementation.
So it becomes a serious problem.
Yeah. Okay. You work a lot in the academia, and I want to find out, what type of conversations do you have with your students to just get them to be the decision makers we want to see?
I think this question, I would have loved one of my students to answer.
Yeah.
Though I'm a little bit far from home. And here in Joburg, so it gives them a little bit distance to be able to comment on this. But if you by chance talk to any of my students, then they will tell you that in class, I'm more of their mentor and not just somebody teaching them. And I always surround them with a lot of opportunities. It's not just about what you do in class. And I always tell them, sometimes the job you finally get is not what you studied.
Yes.
It's actually where an opportunity takes you. And when you meet one, don't joke about it. You should grab it with every means possible.
Yes.
Because sometimes these opportunities don't come as you see. They come by giving you the chance to explore a little bit further. And when you do that one extra step, you see it's coming.
Yeah. Okay.
Nothing comes so easy, but it makes you, they always say the best things in life are free. And it just needs you to show that extra effort and you will get it.
Yes. All right. And you find that the interest and the ginger is there from the students. They want to grab these opportunities and run with them.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I have seen a lot of them manifesting. I've seen a lot of them telling me that this is what you told me some years back.
Yeah.
And this is who I have become today, because I think that in every class, the best moments of your class is telling us that what you are studying now is not more about the fact that you have to pass an exam, but the fact that you need to be able to do it in the future.
Yes.
So how do you link this study and the outreach is what matters?
Yes.
So most of them get inspired based on the fact that you have to tell them about how the outside world is.
Yeah.
And making them to know that when you are in school, you can be pampered, but when you get to the outside world, you have to work for it.
Put in the energy. Okay.
Yes.
I really appreciate the point of teaching style being more of mentorship than the traditional approach, because the kind of reality we find ourselves in, we cannot continue using the traditional methods of
Absolutely.
passing on knowledge.
Absolutely.
Now, when it comes to implementation, you mentioned that you've seen your students doing one or two things. Are they starting businesses, or are they finding themselves coming together and running an environmental campaign or a waste management campaign?
Okay, I would like to pull it on another pattern for now to answer your question.
Sure.
And I'll tell you a little bit of who I am in
Yes.
terms of my work
Yeah.
in the university. I am actually a head of division for Tertiary Sciences and Technology, in which case I have 6 academic departments that I manage.
Okay.
And 2 years ago, I was able to present a new sort of program that all students within that division should be able to do. And that is entrepreneurship in practice.
Wow.
Today, it's a course that has a course code of TST, denoting Tertiary Science and Technology. And this is a course that our students don't just do entrepreneurship.
Yes.
At the end of the day, they are supposed to present to us a small startup project.
Oh.
It has been a little bit challenging because I would have loved a situation where by the time they are presenting these startups, there should be people around who are able, companies amongst other individuals who can come to see how to encourage these students. But of course, we'll never give up.
Yes.
I am still looking forward to how we could make this thing to encourage the students to be able to do something. And entrepreneurship, we tell them it's not just about a course or a program. These are different departments. There is tourism, there is management science that have all the accounting, finance, every other financial studies. You have administrative techniques that teaches students on how to manage offices, amongst other things. You have science of education that teaches students to go and teach. And you also have the Department of Law, the Department of Guidance Counseling. These are all departments that are under my management.
Prof.
But the point is, in this situation, it's not just about the idea that these students are studying something different, but how do they bring in entrepreneurship into what they are doing?
Yes.
That is what is more important. And therefore, we tell them that you need to go beyond who you are and to be able to create an impact in where you live. It's not just about looking for a job. It's about creating one.
Yes.
Therefore, your area, your space, you should try to think out of the box to see how far you could go. And added to this, there is another I introduced, which is on project management and writing.
Yes.
It's still a TST code where students are supposed to come in to design their projects, linking them with the entrepreneurship ideas. Designing a project, look for funding, and make sure that in everything you do, there is that aspect that you can sit, generate something, and explore the world. And I've told them the internet is not just there for them to watch films, to do things that they feel, but use it for something income generative.
Yeah.
And I think it is working because the last batch that just wrote the exams now, they are supposed to present in between November, December. And the director of my school, Professor Akume, has always been very innovative, and he's trying to inform us about what they call an open door day.
Yeah. Oh.
And during that open door day, students can now showcase whatever they have.
Yes.
They can make us to understand that, okay, this is the little I have. And I will say that the last open door day that the same director organized 2-3 years ago, It brought in a lot of persons from companies to banks to other stakeholders. And we are looking forward to a more exciting one.
Yeah.
And I am very positive about what the students can gain from such a situation. That time they were not able to do this, but now that he is organizing it again, and the students now come up with such projects, linking them with their entrepreneurial skills and practice, I feel more confident that they will be able to get something that tomorrow they will say thank you for some of the basics that they have been able to get.
This is why I'm so grateful that you are on the green couch. As academics, we don't always have an opportunity to exchange, to learn what other institutions are doing. What you've just highlighted and the fact that it focuses on components of tourism, environmental science, that is where the exciting stuff is for tomorrow. And churning entrepreneurial mindsets out of it. Hence, I shook your hand and I say kudos. Kudos. I hope that there are platforms that people can follow the work and take interest, whether it's supporting as a judge on Open Door Day or even just supporting with any other resources to enable this. So that's then the purpose of podcasts such as this, to publicize the great work that is being done. Now I'm curious, in the time frame that you've been doing this particular entrepreneurship as well as project management courses, what are some of the ideas that young people are coming up with?
You really will be amazed in the way they think.
Should I hold my couch?
And
just in case I get shocked.
yeah, you will be amazed because of the fact that sometimes we feel they are limited, but trust me, they are limitless.
Oh,
They bring in ideas that you would not imagine that it is actually coming from them. And if you want to go further, like asking them, then you actually know that they know what they are saying.
yes.
And that is why I always want to say that sometimes let's not teach the students as though we are teaching kids. Let's teach them in a way that we expect them to become those to replace us.
Yes.
And by doing this, you are pushing them a little further to think beyond what they should think. And when they start thinking beyond what they should think, trust me, the results will be so good. A student was able to develop an app that was supposed to handle everything entirely for a college. To be able to register from Max, or let me not start from Max, to be able to register as a student in the school, moving from registering as a student to choosing the courses that you could do, and right up to managing exams done by students. And the student just needed the internet and telling you that if you provide me the internet, then I am good to go.
That's it.
The school does not need to pay me. I just want that you should be able to allow me take 1,000, 2,000 from each student. That's CFA francs, 2,000 for each student. And with that 2,000, I should be able to make sure that I handle the students properly. They will get their results. Once the results are published, they'll be able to have complaints written. Their bio data will be available anytime they want to print maybe a certificate. You get their bio data amongst every other information. So that's just an inch of what the students could do from one of the departments, Department of Administrative Techniques.
Yes. And any innovations within the tourism, urban development, and environmental disciplines?
Yes, tourism especially. I particularly teach there.
Yeah.
And we have been trying to push some of the students on issues relating to the green environment in terms of creating urban parks. And we have actually had a series of projects, but the problem has always been lack of finance.
Yes.
Or somebody to finance. Some time ago, we were able to approach the former city mayor of Kumba, who was willing to partner with us, but you know how politics operate. When he was removed, the next person came with his own ideologies.
Yes.
So we will not relent efforts anyway. We will keep moving because I think it's necessary. And I also look at the way the urban environment is running in Cameroon, especially. I will not say it's very bad, but it is not where we are expecting it to be at this moment. And we will keep fighting.
Yeah. Okay. And what actually inspired you and your colleagues to have these entrepreneurship and project management elements into the courses?
First of all, when it comes to entrepreneurship, there was a general entrepreneurship that was brought in by the minister who said that every student should have an idea of entrepreneurial development. The current vice chancellor brought in his own ideas. He said you cannot do entrepreneurship without learning some basics of law, things that you should be able to know while creating a small startup.
Yes.
You should know the laws that surround you. So he brought a number of things. Now, our idea of that is different from the idea of the course we created, which is entrepreneurship in practice.
Yeah.
You study the basics, you get to the practice. In the practice, we want to see the startups.
Yeah.
The general idea of entrepreneurship is studying what entrepreneurship is all about.
Yeah.
We get to entrepreneurship in practice. We want to see what you can do.
Yeah.
So try to do what you can do. Try to generate an idea of what you think you can do. You can decide to come up together and see what you can do.
Yeah.
And before I end this particular point, I'd like to add up to what we are trying to do now, which will take effect next year. Next school year, actually, because I teach with the Department of Agriculture as well, where I teach issues of agroclimatology. Now, in this direction, we want to group some students in maybe a pair of 4 or 5, where they could create a startup to process tomatoes in powdered form. If this goes through, then to be sincere, that's another industry that can begin. Because if you look at tomato paste that is being produced today, we have just over 25%, which is actually tomato. The rest are all other things, preservatives amongst others, to be able to make sure that they stay for the time that they have to stay.
I'm going to look at my tomato paste.
So if we have to produce now just the powder, it means we are getting to 100% tomato that you will get.
Okay.
That is what we are trying to look at with the students. It will be a sort of small project for them to do their entrepreneur in practice.
Yeah. For the students who are watching and listening, what opportunities can they continue to explore within that space of agriculture, waste management? You also mentioned climate change, agroclimate. So if I want to start a business after I finish at UB, where can I look? Which industry can I look into?
There is no doubt that the agriculture industry is the number one today.
Yeah.
And has always been the number one.
Yeah.
Whatever we think about any other industry is just trying to tell us that we should dissuade ourselves because people must belong to all the other sectors. But the agri industry has no competitor.
You can't go wrong there.
The population keeps growing and there is a need for food. You may have the house, you don't have food, of course. You cannot stay in the house without getting something to eat.
Yeah.
We should be able to say that students can go into agriculture. Today's technology don't tell you to go so far. Within a 1 meter square, you can produce a lot.
Yes.
Not just for your household, but to have some little that you could sell out. Going now into the processes that I work in, and the fact that we need to start thinking bigger than what we used to think. The composting that our parents used to do, where they just make sure they gather the foodstuffs, the stale foods, keep in the backyard, they put plantains, they grow so succulently. We think that it is better now to go further and trying to use indigenous knowledge, trying to do basic composting, making sure that the animals that we breed, the foods that we have in our homes that are stale, we can put them together, create our own small space, provide our own manure, and we make them to get to something that we can start our own agricultural production.
Yes.
I will add to it that besides me being a professor in the university, I usually run a poultry farm.
Oh, okay.
And the poultry farm, I stopped it because of too much work.
Yes.
I'm unable to actually go there to check. And students will always look at it and ask, when do you really have the time to do all of this? We take some of these opportunities as passion. We love to see that things are there. And sometimes this does not come only to you, but it comes also to assist the youth who are willing to become part of such drives. And I think it has been working, and we are really hoping that the younger generations today look at these opportunities not just about the fact that you need a lot of money to do it, but by having where you could collect waste, maybe from a poultry to start, and also to have some, say, a little space, 1 meter square, 2 meters square within the backyard of the house, a student can actually do something with it.
You won't be stuck.
No, you won't be stuck.
Yeah. And as we wrap up, if you had to tell our ministries of education as well as our students something that shifts their minds, what would it be?
First of all, I'll say that in the Cameroon's situation, the Ministry of Education has been able to create the other part they call technical education. And the technical education today is trying to bring in some good professional programs like forestry, like agriculture. They are now bringing it to the lower levels. So you don't need to study it only at the university level. And bringing it down simply says you are getting involved, but it does not just end there. Which platform do you give these children to study?
Yes.
If I'm studying agriculture, I should have a farm somewhere
Yes.
where I do my practice at that level. It should take it back. They should take it back home. Parents should be able to provide even a meter square. Do what you are doing in school. Let me see that you are actually doing something. And so it is a three-way thing: the school, the government, and the parents. So the government should be able to provide these facilities that are necessary for students to do what you want them to do.
Yes.
Get them trained at those basic levels, because when they develop that passion at that level, they will definitely grow with it. So it's not just as we say, it's not just aerospace engineering where you just get up and you say, no, I want to drive a plane. You should start by knowing what you want to do. And it gets you to a certain level of a passion. This is what I love to do.
Yeah.
You have started the agriculture, you want to round up with it.
Yeah.
Not just getting it and you don't know anything, you just want to get it. Tourism also has been brought to the secondary level.
Okay.
Students start studying tourism at basic secondary level before they get to the university. So it's a way of saying that we should be able to not just to create these things, but see how it can be implemented so that the students get to the level that you are expecting them to get to.
Yeah. Okay. And on a side note, is ecotourism a thing in Cameroon?
Very much a thing.
Okay. Can I start at
There's
the
a lot of parks created based on for the reasons of ecotourism.
Okay.
You have like the Mount Cameroon.
Yes.
It's an ecotouristic site.
Yes.
You don't harvest. You only see.
Yes. Okay.
There are so many of them. And there are ongoing meetings. 2 days ago, they have created a new UNESCO site in Cameroon. And there's another one that is ongoing, the Buea Slave Trade Village. So if it is approved, it will become another UNESCO heritage site. These are all ecotouristic sites.
I'm just putting
including forest zones. There are so many of them.
Yeah.
So many of them.
Putting myself in the shoes of a individual trying to figure out where can I explore innovations, what's coming to mind is in the tourism space, I could create an app that allows people to easily find some of these facilities. If I'm in agriculture, I could, like you indicated, have agro-processing, even on a small scale, for that immediate market. And the initiative you started off with, plastic waste collection from the beach, the coastal areas. Yeah, that in itself can also be a business, because once you've collected all
It is already a business.
Oh, okay.
Because we now have one investor in Limbe who is
Yeah.
actually processing all of those in plastic bags.
Case closed.
So the youths who got engaged, they're already having where they can hand everything to.
Never mind. All right. This has been really, really informative. And I'm, again, trusting that wherever you are watching or listening from, we as industry practitioners, and in particular academics, we have that golden mantle in terms of how we shape our decision makers for tomorrow, and exposing them to innovations, exposing them to entrepreneurial principles, because the reality is, as you were saying earlier, we can't wait for politics to shift. You can't wait for certain decision makers to shift. We can do what is very much possible within that immediate environment. So, Prof, thank you again for being on the green couch. You certainly made sure that we did not waste this story.
Thank you very much for hosting me, and it's really a pleasure, and hoping that someday somebody gets inspired by what we do and what you are doing. And trust me, the little you always do, you will never know those who are measuring up to you.
Indeed.
Someday they will tell you how much you have done to them to inspire.
Indeed.
Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you too, Prof. This brings us to the end of what was a supercalifragilisticexpialidocious season 2. We've learned so much. We've had questions and queries coming in from individuals who want to enter the greater space of sustainability, circularity, and beyond. This is what we are here for. What awaits us requires us to make those intentional and conscious decisions. So until season 3, continue to be impactful human beings, have intentional conversations, and see opportunities around you and beyond your skill set. Goodbye.